Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Jenna Burton, National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach and founder of Jenna Burton Wellness, a coaching platform designed to help women reclaim their energy, balance their health, and build sustainable wellness habits. After spending more than a decade working in marketing, Jenna experienced her own struggles with chronic gut illness, anxiety, and burnout, challenges that ultimately led her to explore functional health and lifestyle medicine. That journey inspired her to become a certified health coach and launch her own practice, where she now helps clients address root causes of fatigue, stress, and digestive issues through personalized coaching and whole person health strategy. Jenna, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited for our conversation today.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm very much excited as well to dive in and learn a little bit more about your journey. So, Jenna, with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you jumped into the coaching world, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Oh yes, so this is, I would say, technically my third career in life. I was in marketing previously, and before that, I actually was a fashion blogger. That was my full-time job. A couple years out of college, and it was during a time where blogging was not a career. It was definitely, I felt like I was at the forefront of it. I was also in my 20s. It was really exciting, and it was when people were just starting to invest in social media as actually part of their business. That was my first job out of college, was a social media manager. So that was really exciting. It felt really aligned. And then eventually I almost felt like I outgrew it. I just wasn't as passionate about it. Also, the landscape of social media changed so much. This is when Snapchat entered the chat, if you will, during that time. Then really early days of maybe Instagram stories. And it just didn't feel like what I signed up for. I loved to write, and everything really turned into like Instagram, Snapchat, these really like instant gratification platforms. And so I pivoted into marketing. That's what my background was, what I went to school for. And I just started working with one-on-one clients, like small businesses, just helping them with their social media strategy. And that then started to feel more aligned until once again, it didn't. It's almost like I feel this inner resistance when it's these things that I was really excited about, right? I was so excited to write about fashion. I was so excited about these projects for my marketing clients. And I just then kind of noticed myself, like, I don't care about this anymore, to be honest. And I had been on my own health journey, as you mentioned with my lovely intro. Thank you for that, with gut health and anxiety. And I had learned so much over the years of these ways that I could heal myself. I needed help externally with, the knowledge. I needed to know what to do, but people weren't like talking about the gut microbiome at the time. They weren't talking about nervous system regulation. They weren't talking about hormone health. Like, no one was talking about this stuff as they are now. And so the more I learned, I would just like share this with my friends, and just kind of whatever I was able to share that was helping me, I wanted to do that for others, because it was so impactful. All these little habits totally changed my life over the years. And then at kind of around the time where I was like, I don't know if I'm into this marketing stuff anymore, I discovered health coaching. I honestly didn't really know what it was. I'm now learning, not a lot of people do, but I took the plunge. I went through my certification process. Actually got pregnant during that time. So I had like a lot of changes happening at once in my personal life and my career. And then I got my national board certification, which I'm super proud of. I did that while I was pregnant. And now I'm a board certified health coach, and here we are.
I love it. And I think all that journey makes so much relevance, as you say, like social media changed so quickly. I remember the infancy days when it was like MySpace, Twitter, and it was very much, as you say, more of a blogger-based system where people would log on and share their stories. My friends used to do it all the time, and it was like that was the way you went forward. And then it did turn into an advertising space for the whole world to take advantage of, and as they do, but it does change the narrative if that's not what you got into it for. And then actually the same thing happened with marketing. As soon as we got to COVID, the whole marketing system changed, and it's been a forever changing system since then. So it's just about staying on top of it moving forward. And yes, I think health coaching is having its moment, and it's very much needing to have its moment when it comes to nervous system regulation, when it comes to gut health. There's not enough knowledge, there's not enough kind of processes out there for people to understand really what's going on within their own bodies, redefining their version of success, and just making sure they're not getting burnt out. They're enjoying their life and their work at the same time. For me, it all kind of comes together within that health bracket. I'm not going to lie. So let's dive into that a little bit more then, just so the listeners can have some clarity moving forward. So, Jenna, at this point in, who would you say like is your ideal client? Like, who do you very, very much love to work with the most? And then from there, how do you help them, and how do you support them along their own journey?
So right now, what it kind of evolved into is that my bread and butter right now is working with moms. Moms need all the support they can get. And it's obviously something I didn't realize until I became a mom. I certainly work with other demographics, but that's who I'm really passionate about working with right now. That's what I can really resonate with right now. And at the end of the day, a coach is someone who helps you feel seen and heard. So they're not going to like be prescriptive. It's not going to be judgmental. It's really listening to what these people need and then meeting them where they're at and helping them come up with a plan that works for them. So it's not me saying, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, what's the most important to you right now? What's the most realistic for you right now? What's one little thing that you can start doing tomorrow and, create a habit around it? So it's really like, it's a very empowering practice because for so long with like even just our health system in America, which don't even get me started with that, but it's very prescriptive. If you get anything, it's take this pill, or
Yeah.
it's too generic where it's like so many people are just, they've had doctors to say you need to lose weight, you need to eat healthier, you need to exercise. But if you're not doing those things, like if you don't have any history of making those things like a sustainable habit in your life, how do you even know where to begin? So that's where a health coach is so valuable, where like health coaches are who can actually help you implement these things and you can make this realistic and sustainable in your life right now. Because if I just say, go work out 5 days a week, but you've never worked out a day in your life, you're not going to do it. Or if you do,
Yeah.
you're going to do it for 2 weeks and be like, this is too much. So we always want to build these little sustainable habits. We want the small wins. And I do that with moms, but I mean, that's something that anyone can use and apply in their life.
Couldn't agree more. It is that compound effect of that 1% better every day. And not to put America in a bad light, but your guys' healthcare system is different to everyone else's. I'm not going to lie. And it is that, as you say, they're kind of just covering up everything. They're like, here, take this, take this. But if you, as you said yourself, for example, if you put in the back of a math class and they tell you to just do that equation and you've never been in maths before, you'd be like, I can't do this. How am I meant to move forward and take that exam? It's exactly the same process with health. If you've never been in an environment or never been taught or you don't understand it, it's so overwhelming to jump into that space. And for someone to just sit there and go, yeah, but you need to lose weight. There are so many different ways, so many different people telling you so many different things. You're never going to know which path to take. So it is just making it clear and obvious for them to take those next steps. And as you say, little by little, we can get to where you need to be. And it's the sustainability we're looking for, not the instant gratification. As we mentioned before, in the online space at the moment, it's very much instant gratification. So one thing I'm very curious to find out though as well is how you go about like acquiring your customers, because actually it's a very, very noisy world at the moment. So like, what are you finding most effective in just finding those right people to work with?
Yeah, so I have to be honest with you, this is something I really struggled with because I'm in a new category. I've been a health coach for a few years now, and granted, I've really built my network of people, especially locally in Chicago, where I am in the surrounding areas. I'm really grateful for the community, just everyone I know, whether they're in my close inner circle or people I've just kind of known from events throughout the years. I do have a pretty wide circle, and it's gotten even wider now that I have this whole like mom part of my life. And I was really in the beginning just focused on Instagram because that's what I was used to in marketing. It's kind of what I knew, even though, like we've talked about, even though things have evolved so much. I mean, I feel like even just taking my break from, being pregnant and having a baby, came back to social media, and I'm just like, wait, this is different.
Like,
And
where
it
am I?
was, it's crazy. It's crazy. I did this for a living for so many years, and now I'm like, I don't even know what to do. So to be honest, I'm still learning, but what I've found to be the most supportive right now is really like not using social media so much and just kind of working within the people that I already know, the connections that I have, almost doing like more collaborative things. So doing
Oh,
workshops and just like connecting with people I already know and kind of connecting with their network. And
yeah.
that's just something I thought it feels more authentic to me right now. And I feel like why I probably wasn't successful trying to acquire customers on Instagram. One, I didn't know what I was doing because it changed so much. And then once I figured it out, it just didn't feel authentic to me. And I truly believe that like if you everything is energy. So if I'm putting out something that doesn't feel authentic to me, it feels like, oh, I just have to create content. It just feels forced. That's not gonna, people aren't going to receive that. And I kind of learned that the hard way, and that's okay. But I really thrive on making genuine, deeper connections. That's why, I started a Substack, why I have a podcast, like why I like to do, I can't do in-person events as much as I would like to because I have a toddler, but I try to make more like deeper one-on-one connections with people than just cast like a wide net on social. So I'm not saying I won't do it, but it's not where my focus is right.
Yeah, no, and I understand exactly where you're coming from. If you feel uncomfortable doing anything, people will pick that up. They will resonate with that because you have to have like your full intention moving forward. So you've kind of built yourself like a nice little referral system coming in, as you say, kind of leaning on workshops, collaborations, and other people where you can come in. So you can just be in the right room, the right time, and use your authenticity as your advantage, rather than your disadvantage, which is a really cool aspect. Naturally, a podcast is amazing to do that as well. We obviously connect on one now, but I feel like if you have somebody that is listening to your voice for 10 minutes plus, they would kind of get the idea of what it's like to work with you and then build that trust along the way. So it's just a really nice and friendly approach to doing it in a very unique way as well. Do you have a team that are helping out at all? Or are you very much like a solo founder, kind of wearing all the hats and taking it like that?
It's just me. And what I do, like I work one-on-one with people, and then I also I'm certified to teach a course called Clarity Catalyst. So I do that.
Cool.
I can do it individually, and I do from time to time, but it's really about the group experience.
Yeah, I like
But
that.
in terms of, I do have a course. I do have a fertility course, a functional fertility course that I created with my functional medicine doctor, which is really amazing. So I have like all these different, you know, little outlets. But I would say a majority of what I do is working with people one on one.
Yeah, awesome stuff. A group brings a nice different dynamic, as you say. It kind of brings like a camaraderie effect, especially with like-minded people, mums, or going through a very similar experience. Hopefully, they can build their own relationships along the way as well, and not just rely on the coach solely to help them learn and move forward. And then, actually, a course is amazing if you are on that one-to-one level. It's nice to be able to help other people out and not restrict yourself on your calendar as well. So it's great you're adding all this stuff on. And I suppose, like, what are your visions or your intentions with the company moving forward? Like when you think of the next 6 to 12 months. What are the goals or the targets that you're working hard towards achieving?
To be honest with you, I'm someone who just like, I'm a very much like live in the moment. I'm very intuitive. So I've also learned over the years that I can have these goals and this vision, and then life happens on life's terms and something throws you a curveball and it can look really different. But I really just want to be able to help as many people as I can. And I know there's only so much I can do one on one, right? I love doing it, but I really want to grow doing more workshops and more group experiences so I am able to reach more people.
Yeah.
And I really love the community aspect of the group experiences, especially with this course. Like I told you, I'm certified to teach in Clarity Catalyst, because it is more of an experience. It's not me just like talking at you. There's breakout rooms and activities and like experiences we do in the class. And so you get to like go on this journey with other people. And I love that. So it's not about me, it's about them and connecting with other people, because that's like, that community aspect is a really big part that we're missing from our societal health right now.
Yeah.
We're so
Yeah.
focused on our physical health and now our mental health, which are very important, don't get me wrong, but it's like that community aspect, because especially since COVID, right? Like, people have just felt more lonely than ever, and having some sort of sense of community, whatever that is so important for your overall health. So I want to be able to provide that for people as well.
Yeah, I agree. I said it at the start, it is such a nice way to just help other people out in a very different dynamic to it. And definitely since COVID, trust recession, however you want to put it, it is just nice to get a group of people together. And like hopefully as well, they can build relationships, they can make friendships, especially when you are going through a health journey. You tend to change little things in your life that don't realize will affect you. But for example, if you stop drinking alcohol, you'll suddenly find the friends who used to go and drink alcohol with you, you're kind of lacking in that aspect. So it's nice to meet other people just to help you along your journey, make it more comfortable. Just cut out the overwhelm. Like you can go and do physical exercise with that you might be able to do with the group of people you're comfortable with already. It just changes your environment, makes it so much easier for you to go along that and take those steps for yourself. I think it's a really nice touch. And there's one final question to you, Jenna, before we log out. So if you could go back in time to a younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself?
Listen to your gut, trust yourself. You have all the answers. It's three different things, but it's all saying the same thing. 100% what I would say. And I say that because I've spent many, many years going against my gut and questioning myself and overanalyzing things. And it's taken a lot of deep inner work, especially in the last like 5 years, I would say, to get to that point. And I know it can be really hard for people, and I understand. I am that person, and it's constant work, but it's so worth it. And it just makes life flow more and things just like feel more at ease. There's less resistance, and it's empowering to be like, hey, I have all the answers inside and I trust myself. I don't need to look to external sources for that. And it's pretty great. So that's the advice I would give.
Could not agree more. Lean into those spidey senses as much as you can. And Jenna, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Yes, the best way would be to check out my website. It's jennaburtonwellness.com, Jenna with one N, preface. And then you can connect with me on Instagram at Jenna G. Burton. And my podcast is Ruby Geminis. I do that with my friend Bethany, which is super fun. And my Substack is jennagburton.substack.com.
Beautiful stuff. And thank you again, Jenna. I really appreciate your time today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to go and check out Jenna Burton. As she just said, drop her a message, check out the podcast. I'm sure she would love to hear from everybody. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we'll see you on the next one.